For this part of the Spiritual World series, I will jump forward in time a bit. The first two segments were from when I was 4 years old. Now I will discuss part of my life from October 2019. At this time, I had been working in the oil pipeline field for almost 7 years since 2012. In 2016, I was sent out to survey for pipelines in West Texas. Things were very busy out there, lots of hours and days. In mid-October of 2019, I experienced what I call a nerve shock. It was God's way of telling me, it's time. It was an empathic thing, but I knew what it meant, so I went to my employer and gave my 2 weeks' notice. Now, some people still living for the world will ask, you left a good-paying job over an anxiety attack? The answer is no. I did not leave my job over an anxiety attack. This was something else. My last day was on November 8th, 2019. After I packed up and went home, the nerve shock went away. Soon enough, a couple months later, I would start to hear stories of COVID. So God was warning me, it's time. So let me go back in my own timeline briefly. It was in 2007 I would become baptized. In 2012, I began to realize Satanism was a real thing. Not just about those weirdos Geraldo and Oprah would parade around on their 80s TV shows. In 2014, I got myself a place out in the country with disaster stuff in mind. In 2015, I began to realize that martial law was a possibility after reading government documents and paying attention to what was going on during the Obama years. So for those that have heard me in other videos expressing my problems with Trump, you should have been around me during the Obama years. I was not a fan. I still have a bumper sticker on my truck expressing my dislike of Obama. Now, during the Obama years, I wondered what would be the trigger event. Well, in January of 2020, I found out. Praise the Lord, He warned me. Over the past few years, I have adapted to a new lifestyle, staying away from the beast system as much as possible. I used to think the beast system was rising, but after being at home the past few years, I realized my assessment was incorrect. You see, the beast system isn't rising, it's been here. It's just taking a new form. It's resetting itself. Living at my country home and getting away from the busyness of life, I have had time to think about things. So I'm thankful to Jesus that He provided me this opportunity to get away. It was the Rockefellers that said something like, "We don't need a nation of thinkers. We need a nation of workers." You know the Rockefellers, the bankers, the money changers, the people that Jesus didn't like. I have learned more about this world since I've been living out here amongst the trees. It is here where I began to understand that there was a spiritual world. Sure, I've read into the Bible and been to church in the past, but this is something else. So hopefully, this Spiritual World series I'm doing will help someone on their journey of understanding. God speaks to us all in different ways. Thanks for listening.